Hi, this is Josh, also known as Cpgeek, and in this video we're going to be checking out the Fractal Design Meshify 2, which is the new case that I picked up for my new workstation build. Should be pretty awesome. This is just my unboxing and first impressions. I have not actually seen this in real life yet. It's still sealed away in the box that it shipped me in, and I'm really looking forward to checking this out. So let's go ahead and grab a knife and switch on over to my desk here. Just take me a couple of seconds to go ahead and pull this out of the box. I don't have a whole lot of room in this particular room, so unfortunately I can't shoot the actual slicing open the box here, but that's what I'm doing right now. All right. Well, one of the first things that I'm noticing, if I switch over to the other camera here, maybe I can grab it. No, it's just out of range. Let's see. I'll move out of the way here. There we go. You can see a little bit. It's right behind me. This room is pretty small. So the first thing you'll note is that Fractal's boxes have this little blue logo on the inside here repeated, which is kind of neat. Wish I could get a better view for that for you. Let me see if I can flip this guy around, see if that works. That's a little better. Switch to that. There we go. So yeah, it's got this this pattern here that's pretty interesting. Also interesting, I can see right off the bat that the case is packaged so that the front of the case is facing the top of the box. This is the right way up. I just carried this in here by the handles, so that's basically the way it's stored. So if I go ahead and pull out these styrofoam pieces, do they come out separately? I think this might be something I have to pull the whole thing out at once. I don't like the way that that's packaged. That's interesting. It looks like I'm going to have to flip this over and dump it because I don't think that I have an alternative given the space constraints in my room. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just going to have to dump it over like this. Great. Now that that is on the bottom, let's get in here. Make sure the flaps are out of the way. And flip and turn. All right, now that this guy's upside down, lift this off, and we can examine the box. Didn't realize the box actually had things on it. Iconic angular mesh design provides filtered airflow with a bold and stealth-inspired aesthetic. I actually really like the way that this looks. Spacious, adaptable interior for motherboards up to and including 285mm EATX, and believe me, we will certainly need it. Support for radiators up to 360mm in the front, 420 on the top, or 280mm in the base. My plan moving forward is to actually do a dual 360 millimeter water cooling loop, and I will certainly be making some videos about that here. Convert to storage layout for up to 14 hard drives and 4 SSDs, plus 2 SSD brackets, plus 1 multi-bracket included. I will actually be using this in open layout, and I'll show you that as soon as I get this out of the box as well. The open layout will allow me to have my large video card, as you may have seen from previous videos. The reason for this whole case upgrade altogether is because of that really long video card, and also because I haven't had a new case since 2011 when I first constructed my workstation that I've been upgrading slowly ever since. I decided that now is a good time to go ahead and just update and fully go for new gear. So here I am. 5, improved chassis design opens up fully on 3 sides for unhindered installation and cable routing. What that means is basically the whole top lifts off, and the front panel gets removed. It's tempered glass. We'll get to that in a moment. As well as the entire front part of the computer can come off as well, leaving the bottom, rear, and back panel in place. So that'll be really a treat to work in compared to other builds. Although once I get some of that water cooling gear in here, I don't know how reconfigurable that'll be, but this is an incredibly modular design that I'm very happy with. I could see a whole bunch of different machines styles being built in a case like this. Double layer nylon filter that can be removed for increased airflow on all of these intakes. The front and top and bottom all have filtered intakes. You can see they're removable here at the very bottom. Slide that down there. So there's this is one of them. This is one of them here, and then there's another one on the front. So those are filtered intakes. I can experiment with leaving them in, taking them out, depending on what's intake, exhaust, etc. As most of the front and top is covered with case mesh anyway. It's still very breathable. That's one of the major reasons I like this. I don't like closed front cases. I think that's a dumb design. So I went with something that has a mesh front. Let's see, front panel design with hinged removable mesh filter and tether-free bezel for easier access to front fan mounts. And what that means is that this whole front panel can be separated from the front of the machine without actually having to take off this front bezel here. And that's going to be real nice for, you can see the screwing in of the fan screws from the front here. Before you put that whole door assembly on. So that's real nice to be able to get in there without having to take the whole thing apart. And 3 front USB ports, including 1 USB 3.1 Gen 2, as that's a Type C, with fast charging support and speeds up to 10 gigabits per second. I do like that the front panel includes a USB 3.1 Gen 2 Type C. I wish it were 2 or more even. There's also only 2 regular USB 3 ports on the front as well, instead of basically 4 like a lot of other cases have. I wish that I had quite a few other front panel connectors. I have 2 on the new motherboard that I'm installing in this, as far as 2 front panel connectors, which means 4 ports. So I really could have used those. Not a huge deal. I've got plenty of USB on the back, and I also plan on getting a USB hub for my desk for all of the things that stay on my desk to make cable routing a little easier. But that's the back side of the box. There isn't really much on the other sides. I don't want to reveal the shipping label, as I had to ship to my house, so no reason for that. Let's go ahead and switch back here. So there I am again. I'm just setting this box aside while I rearrange stuff that's here. All right. Before I get to the case, let me swing this camera back around where it more or less belongs. Just reframing. Cool. So switching back to my desk here. There we go. Let's start with the accessory box. There's a giant box. Meshify 2 accessories. Hard to lose this box or identify what's in here. This is definitely a box of accessories for the Meshify 2. They did a really good job with their labeling here. Whoever came up with the giant fonts, I applaud you. Definitely good for seeing what's what. And it's also written on many sides here. Fractal, we have the Fractal logo. Designed in Sweden, fractaldesign.com. I honestly, until this moment, didn't realize that this is a Swedish company, but that's cool. And on the other side, the same design in Sweden, Fractal Design. All right, so let's go ahead and pop this box open. Let's see what accessories that we get. Wow, this is extremely well packaged. I am a big fan of this. I don't like that they shipped the case with the front up. I wish it were an easy pull-out situation, or that they used segmented foam, so you could lift out the foam and then the computer and leave the foam in the bottom, like many other cases. With this particular box, you have to flip it over, but not a huge deal. In this particular box, we've got the Meshify 2 user guide. Again, big friendly letters. We've got pictures of the case. I do like that they include CAD drawings on a lot of their materials, both on the box and here. I think it's a cool aesthetic, the whole engineer aesthetic, high tech. It's pretty nice, and it gives you the opportunity to preview exactly what you're getting before you even crack the box open. So I'm a big fan of that. That's good. It appears that my main camera has decided to not work. Let's refresh that. There we go. Sorry about that. So yeah, the aesthetic is great, and it gives you an opportunity to see what you get. Big friendly letters, you can't mistake that. I personally have some minor eyesight problems. I'm a little nearsighted. Attention, in the event of having received faulty products. Before returning the product, please contact your reseller or Fractal Design. Most issues can be quickly and easily solved through our support team. Most case parts are removable and are easily replaced with spare parts. That's kind of cool. A note to Fractal Design, in the future, I would recommend against this particular font setup. The red kind of clashes with this is it blue or gray, or I guess gray, making it kind of difficult to read with the print that they have here. I know I could toss on my glasses and make that out pretty easily. I was able to read that anyhow, but for an attention pamphlet that's all red, you really want people to be able to read that, so that should pop. I might recommend if you wanted to leave the pamphlet blue, pamphlet red, a bright blue like found in your logo might work a little bit better for those sorts of things. Popping this open. This is more than likely the main user manual, user guide. Yep. So popping through here. So these fonts are extremely small, but they're trying to get a lot of concept in here. They do give you lots of pictures, though, which a picture's worth 1,000 words. So you can work out the dimensionality of things in your head here. Let's zoom in slightly. So here we have build server example. This is using an AIO. Obviously, the tubes are going to the front. There's 2 hard drives in the front, 2 SSDs in the bottom, video card here, and then a whole mass of hard drives that are in the front portion of the case. This is the rear view, it's flipped. 2 hard drives here, a bunch of hard drives up front. So this is the full 14 hard drives thing that they mentioned on the front cover. On this side, they give you a water reservoir build example with a really big reservoir here, 2 radiators and fans, and basically a CPU loop here. And then on the back side, you have your placement for hard drives and whatnot. This is the open mode, as I was talking about. I'm not going to go through the manual completely. I just wanted to see what the quality of the drawings and sort of what the documentation was like. This is a nice thick book that gives lots of examples, and the documentation looks fantastic. They used easy to follow graphics. They even do explosion for what screws go where when you remove things. This documentation is just absolutely fantastic. They give you where radiators can go. I'm just flipping through this book real quick. We're not really going to be doing any sort of major builds here right now. But that's fantastic. Good on you, Fractal. Definitely a big fan. This is my first Fractal design case that I have ever seen. So this is really my first hands-on with anything that they make. I have seen a lot of people online really enjoy these types of cases and have put them to work in a variety of different circumstances and setups. So I knew that this would be a good buy, but I had no idea that their documentation and packaging were this good as well. So these look like hard drive mounts for storage layout. I'm guessing, well, I don't even have to guess. I won't be using these whatsoever as, or I don't believe that I will, as I had planned to move completely to NVMe storage with this workstation build. So I will definitely be using open layout and water cooling, so I'll need the space anyhow. Let's see, what's in this Meshify 2 accessories box? Oh, on the back, again, with their awesome documentation, they give you all the screws that are in the box and basically an entire contents. So we've got mounting screws. We've got some standoffs here for mounting your motherboard. We even get some zip ties here, it looks like. So that's real nice overall. Whenever I don't have to open the box in order to find out what's inside in a way that I can immediately identify, I am enthralled. I'm just overjoyed when companies do that. I even try to do that with labels myself. I have a label maker here. If I didn't, I would never know where anything is, period. Things are usually kind of a mess. This is a working place in my household, so I have very little room, and I'm always doing a whole lot of different things. So being able to label what boxes things are in is fantastic. And this box in particular, having all of the things that are in the box or should be in the box on the box, very well labeled. Good on you, Fractal. If this was a plain or just Meshify 2 accessories box, I would have been fine with it with packaging contents in the manual, but they've outdone themselves on that one. So documentation and accessories check. We'll go ahead and close this for now. This is just outstanding. Let's go back on over to the case itself. Ow! It is very dry in this room, and I just had a shock here. Oh, and it looks like my camera stopped working again. There I am. Sorry about that. Static electricity buildup here. All right, let's go ahead and remove styrofoam, that over there, and I'll remove this styrofoam, put that over here, and then I remove the bag easily. Okay, it looks like it removes from the bottom of the case, which is that way right now. Let's go ahead and switch cameras and back that off and go a little higher with that so we can see what we're seeing. And all right, so this is the Meshify 2. Exclamation, glass, handle with care. That's one of the things that I'm not looking forward to. So this is the first case that I have ever personally owned that has a tempered glass side panel. I know that they're quite popular now, but I've never really wanted a case with a window, at least until now. And usually I would say that the side panel is a place to mount fans and accessories. They're not caring about the bling that you might get here. Sorry about all that crinkling. I don't know how much of that came through. So this has a tempered glass side panel. I'm guessing that this is probably a peel. If it is a peel, I'm not going to peel it right now. Yes, it is a peel. I can feel that. Having taken a look at the manual previously, I know first off that this tempered glass panel can be removed easily, and I'll show you that in a moment. Let's just turn this so you can see the front of the machine here. That is really, really nice. What is this here? Oh, it's just light. It's a reflecting light from the light in the middle of the room here. So this is the gray version of the Meshify 2. I like the gray. It's maybe just a little bit brighter than gunmetal. It's not a light gray. It's a medium gray. I like the gray that they chose. I was a little worried about that. Got the Fractal logo down here, which also doubles as the door for the front panel, which just pulls. I can pull this further off, as we saw there. This is the removable filter for the front panel. Here we have the fans and fan mounts. I'm going to be placing a radiator there, and the stock fans. That's not really a door that ever needs opening unless you're working on the case. On the top, just going to tilt slightly. On the top, we've got all this nice mesh. Again, there's a removable filter under that too. So if anything were to drop on here, or if and when my cats start to climb up there and decide that they want to take a rest on top of my computer, which I do try to discourage, they basically will hopefully not get a whole bunch of hair and dust in my machine. Yes, my fans will be blowing up, as all fans should, but you never know. All these small particulates, like cat hair and whatnot, can definitely get caught in things. So I'm happy about those filters. Going around now to the rear side of the case. So same flat gray as all the way around, which is very nice. The front, as we just saw, is a little bit brighter gray than the actual case metal itself. I still very much like this look and feel. It is textured. It feels like it's been like maybe powder coated this color, which is still a nice look and feel. It doesn't appear to be a fingerprint magnet, which is what I'm trying to see here. It doesn't leave behind any sort of finger oils or anything like that, which is great. I've seen so many cases that are just fingerprint magnets and don't work very well for keeping fingerprints off. Again, on the back, we've got the motherboard cutout. Ooh, that's interesting. That may mean something is broken, but I'm not going to panic yet. I'm going to take a look on the inside of the case in just a few moments when we get to that section. We've got your normal card slots here, which are recessed inwards, which means that they're a whole lot easier to get at. The actual screws for the cards are inside the case rather than outside the case, which is fantastic. So it's just a whole lot easier to work in. I'll show you that inside the case as well. Except for these two screws are here and here, of course. So they do make it so that you could vertically mount a video card if you want to. I will not be doing that, at least not anytime soon. PCIe 4.0 risers are really, really buggy. I haven't seen one on the market that actually works well. And they cause system crashes and whatnot at the moment. And B, they basically block off your use of all of the other cards because your video card does have to go in one of those in that top slot, and basically blocks off the other PCIe card slots from use. So that's really, really annoying to me because I plan on using those PCIe card slots for PCIe cards. Coming back around here, we get that front glass panel. It is tinted. It's the light tinted version. There's a light and a dark tinted glass panel. I wish this were not tinted, honestly. I think that I would rather see the components if I'm going to have a glass window. I will have some lighting in here as well, thanks to the fans that I've purchased for this build. But overall, I wish that this were a non-tinted or a very much lighter tint side panel. If this is the light version, the dark version must be super dark. So yeah, moving on, let's go ahead and try to open up this glass panel. I know that from the factory, these are not locked. There's a locking screw that you can use, but it's not locked by default, which means that this glass can pop right on out. I'm not sure, though, whether you have to take the front panel off first. Just taking a look here to see if there's anything that shows me the way. Nope, nothing there. Nothing there. If you just pull. Yeah, just pull. And then the glass panel comes forward. There are tabs in the bottom that hold the glass panel in place. You can sort of see that there. Yep. And they just slot into these 4 grooves on the bottom of the case. Looks like it's very easy to take on and off. And in terms of the actual connection, it looks like there's these little ball joints here. And those basically go into these sections at the top of the case that keep that in there. I don't like how easy this is to remove, given that this is tempered glass. You'll note this little tab section here. This actually allows you to screw in the piece of tempered glass to the front so that you cannot open the case without removing that screw. This is specifically for transport and whatnot, although they don't have a screw installed for the sending of the case to me here. But I will more than likely be using that for LAN parties and most typical use, unless I'm wrenching on my machine. So I'll go ahead and lock that down later. I'm going to go ahead and just set this tempered glass aside very securely. In fact, I'm going to put it in the box for the case, just so there's zero way that that could end in tragedy. I'm very nervous about breaking that tempered side panel. And now we have the inside of the computer. It ships to me in open layouts. And the difference between open layout and storage layout is this panel can be unbolted from the bottom and brought forward. And then this whole space allows you to install those drive bays that we saw in the accessories box. And you can install up to 14 drives in this thing. I believe it's 8 or so that fits in this this drive bay section, plus some down below and that sort of thing. As I said, I won't be using this for hard drive storage. I will be using this section for a front radiator, a water pump, and reservoir, and the video card, which my video card should come roughly to here, I believe, ish. So it's a big long video card. It's a 3090 Gaming X Trio by MSI. I will definitely be doing a build stream very, very soon for the installation of my new motherboard, which is a Gigabyte Aorus X570 Extreme. Again, big boy board, which should come to just over where these grommets are. So I'm going to have to pre-route my my cables in order to get things installed. I am just visually in my head lining up where things are going to go in here. It's a nice spacious interior. I like that. This is the most space that I've ever had to work inside of a computer, and yet it's still a mini tower. They must be using some kind of Time Lord technology to get this case bigger on the inside than it is on the outside. It's pretty amazing. One point that does come to mind, however, is this is a heavy case. There's a lot of steel involved here. I'm going to have to be carrying this thing around occasionally to LAN parties. And once I load this thing up with water cooling gear, it's going to get even heavier. So I'm not quite certain how I'm going to manage that. We'll see, and you'll see as well if you follow along. Do click that subscribe button if you want to see the build video that'll have up at some point soon. There will be a stream of that as well. And let's see, looking through here, just getting an eyeball for things, and it looks like that that little bit of excess, what I thought was a broken case, is actually just the fan cable. The fan cable is nicely routed up into the rear section where it's going to be out of sight. I just have to remember when I install my motherboard to make sure to not kink that cable when I do so in order to get that installed. I don't want to ruin anything when I go ahead and install my motherboard there. All right. Well, now, okay, that's screwed. Just looking at how things come apart. Let's go into the back side here. I'm not going to tear this all the way down, but I do want to remove all of the panels that are not screwed down. Okay, this removes just like the front, the side panel. Same ball joints, same 4 tabs in the bottom. In fact, I'm fairly certain that I can just reverse this and put this on the back side. Nope, that wouldn't work. The reason it wouldn't work is because the release tab would be on the bottom and the tabs would be on the top if I were to do that. Not a huge deal, but good to know. And I'm just setting this down here. All right, here we have the back side of the case. First thing that I see is we've got these nice Velcro straps that will allow me to route cables through the grommets and up here, and also on the side here we've got PWM cables. Looks like the case fans are already routed and into the fan hub that we have on top here. I probably won't be using the fan hub that's included with the case because I am using a Corsair Commander Pro in order to do the overall configuration of my fans and pump and whatnot. It is good that those are there. I might end up maybe using them for the rear fan, depending on how many ports that I have open, but we'll see how that works out. So these say pull, so I'm going to go ahead and pull slightly. Okay. Same ball and joint mechanism that holds the side panel on. This time the balls stay connected to the case. Okay. Doesn't want to break anything. There's these little tabs that are on the sides here. And I believe this whole thing is removable, if I'm not mistaken. You just don't want to pull too hard. It comes up. So there's these little tabbies that stick down into these three slots, and it goes like that. So there's tabs here, little ones that go on the side. Click, click, and then these two here that hold this together. I think that they designed this so that you can shove cables underneath there, or that the power supply stuff is unsightly, but the back panel is totally opaque. There's no back glass, so I don't know why you would want to hide that. You can't see it from the front side of the machine because the power supply shroud is going to be in the way. This is just the basement area. I don't know why this exists, and I probably won't end up using this. I'm not sure yet. I'll keep it around as an option, but I don't get why it's here. It doesn't really make sense to me. I mean, yeah, it hides cables, but there's going to be a case side here, so there's not a big deal. I don't know. I'm just going to set this aside for now. All right, looking forward. So these are the cables that are coming out of the front of the machine. They are currently from the factory tied down with a twist tie, which I've just undone so I can take a look at what cables these are. Let's try to separate them a little bit. There's another twist tie keeping the cables together. I do very much enjoy the factory cable management here. They did a great job at that. All right, so we've got a front panel USB 3 connector. I wish there were two of these, as I said before, and doubled the number of front panel ports. This is a USB Type-C connector that goes to that Type-C connector on the top there. This is HD audio for the front panel, and this is probably power switch. Yep, power switch. Nope, power LED. And power switch, reset switch. All right, so this is all pretty much standard fare. This, I believe, is just fans. Yep, 3-pin fans. Three-pin fan. I don't even think it's PWM. That's okay. I've got my own fans for this, except for that rear fan. That rear fan is probably going to stay. Actually, this is a PWM cable. Oh, this is the PWM cable for the hub to power that. This is the fan cable, which is only 3-pin DC. All right, so that's not PWM. Okay. And then in the bottom here, we have two pre-installed drive cages, which when I do my initial build, I'm more than likely going to put my hard drives here just to copy the data off of them. It'll be a convenient place to store them. I currently have 3 hard drives online, so 1, 2, and then I will probably use this here multi-bracket in order to secure the 3rd hard drive here, or maybe even lay it just right here upside down if there's enough space after the cables. And my cat's decided to come say hi. So I think that's all of the spots that you can look at from just removing the 2 side panels. And I don't believe that you can remove any of the other panels without unscrewing. That's a pretty good overview of the case as is. This would be the part that moves forward in the case to allow you to slot in more of these hard drive brackets if you wanted to convert this into storage layout, and all the hard drives would go here. But as I said, I'll be using this in open layout. Yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of that. Let's go ahead and put my side panel back on. I do like that this is toolless. Slots in nicely. Don't need a screwdriver or anything to pop this together. And yes, I do like the fact that this is toolless for home use. I do not like the fact that it's toolless for on-the-go use. Transporting this, I'm going to be really careful how things are going to pop apart. I also think, no, there's no way of locking this particular panel in place. All right, so that's a little on the annoying side. I'm not a big fan of that. I could be wrong, but I'm not seeing one of those tabs for this particular panel, which means that there's no way to lock it in place with a screw. Turning this around. Overall, I really like the look of this case. There's a lot of room to work with, and I think that should suit my workstation needs quite a bit. Further, as a preview for another project that's related to this that I've been working on. One moment. Wendell from Level 1 Techs decided to model up some caster feet for his Fractal Design Meshify XL, the bigger version of this case. So I decided to go ahead and take his models that he put up for free online. Thank you very much. And I went ahead and printed those out and added some old caster wheels from an old office chair. And I'm going to see if I can get this rolling around more or less under its own power. I think that this will be a good way to organize my my PC area, so I can slide things around in and out while I have all of this heavy water cooling gear installed. It'll also be very helpful when I bring this thing to LAN parties. I can roll it around the room as need be. I don't like the fact that I'm going to have to carry this around while it's full. But you know, that's the price you pay when you want to show the case full of all kinds of high-end kits. So I'm really looking forward to this build. And I really think that this is a really good case choice to do it. I'm hoping that the cursing will be to a minimum when I install things. I'm really liking what I see. Everything that I saw on their website is definitely baked in here. The design is relatively simple, but they did things in such a way where everything is exactly where it's needed. And everything is very polished. All of the corners are rounded. There are thumb screws already pre-installed for all of the side or There are thumb screws pre-installed for all of the rear I/O. Grommets that look nice and are more or less where I need them. I kind of wish they were a little bit wider in order to accommodate my big board, but it is an EATX board, and there aren't a whole lot of them out there, and people generally want to go smaller than bigger, so I'm kind of on the outside. Fractal does recommend going with the larger version of this case, the Meshify 2 XL. For EATX boards, this will definitely accommodate it, but just I didn't want to go with the larger version of this just because I didn't want to have to carry it around for transport reasons. This should be enough room for everything that I need, and as I said, I'm really looking forward to putting some stuff in here and getting this going. Hopefully we'll be able to do that maybe tomorrow as I shoot this. We'll see. Please get subscribed if you're interested in my other content. Go on over to Cpgeek.org. That's where you'll find me and all of my stuff. There's a Discord channel if you want to come say hi. You can find that link right on Cpgeek.org. It's really easy to find. If you want to go ahead and tweet me, please do so. If you want to check out the Facebook group, there is a Cpgeek.org Facebook group, and you post videos and whatnot as I make them there, as well as polls and things. So if you're interested in doing that, please go ahead and get signed up there. Otherwise, I will see you in the next video. Have a great one. Bye-bye.